Hello, my name is Michael Sylvester, and I'm really excited to share with you an innovative fitness program that women of all ages are going to love. The name of the program is appropriately called Getting to the Bottom of It, and it's for women who want to target their hips, buttocks especially, and thighs. Aside from the aesthetic results you'll witness, this program will also help stabilize your spine and pelvis, which can help prevent many orthopedic issues that are so prevalent in today's society. Hopefully I sparked your interest. Let's talk about how I pioneered this groundbreaking program. In the early 1990s, I was working at a health club in the Boston area, and many women asked me how they can sculpt and tone their buttocks. They would often complain that the exercises they were given by trainers like lunges and squats would result in more fatigue in their thighs rather than their buttocks. It was at that point I had what some people refer to as an aha moment. I was involved in bodybuilding for many years and learned many training principles, one of them being pre-exhaust. This type of training is designed to target or stimulate a larger muscle like the gluteals or buttocks muscles, which would otherwise be held back by relatively weaker body parts during multi-joint movements like squats and lunges. I often give an analogy to help clarify this principle. How strong is a chain? As strong as its weakest link. In the case of training the buttocks, the weak link is the quads or the thighs. They tire out first before the buttocks muscles get their fair share. As alluded to earlier, the butt muscles are held back. In summary, the order in which you do the exercises in this program is crucial. The exercises are not done in a random fashion. The sequence of each exercise has physiological merit. Get it? If you don't, no big deal. You don't have to. Just perform the exercises and reap the benefits. Now, I want to dispel the fear that women have in regards to lifting weights and attaining big muscles. It's just not true. Simply put, a very low percentage of women have abundant levels of testosterone, the muscle-building hormone responsible for attaining large muscles. Let's talk about volume and intensity. Volume refers to the repetitions and sets you perform on any given exercise. Intensity is usually referred to as the amount of weight used on any given exercise. Most women performing a typical exercise program usually use high volume, high repetitions, and low weight or intensity. This training philosophy was most likely based on the myth that women will achieve large muscles if they train with heavy weights, which is unlikely, as I discussed. This is not to say that this type of training should not be included in comprehensive exercise program for the buttocks. On the contrary, there are a couple of factors that contribute to muscle shape: the size of a muscle and muscle density or firmness. Increasing the size of a muscle or hypertrophy represents a frequently reported response to resistance training and is characterized by an increase in the diameter of the individual muscle fiber. Physiologists agree that in addition to an increase in diameter of the individual muscle fibers, there is concomitant increases in the number of capillaries in a muscle, thus contributing to enlargement of the entire muscle. According to Stephen Fleck and William Kramer, authors of Designing Resistance Training Programs, high volume type training performed by bodybuilders increases capillary density. So I am in favor to the high volume and low intensity training protocol. But in addition, muscles also favorably respond to heavier weights and lower volume, as mentioned above. And that this type of training increases the diameter of the muscle fibers, which contributes to the shape of a muscle. You can't shape the buttocks without some increase in muscle size. And again, we're not talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger size. The program I've designed includes both concepts, using moderate to heavy weights, obviously in a progressive manner, with lower volume. I also include high volume and lighter weights, or resistance bands. Variety is key when trying to maximize results and to get to the bottom of it. Now, let's talk about the hip muscles and the adverse effects it has on activating the buttocks muscles. We live in a culture where we sit for prolonged periods of time. In many cases, the muscles in the front of the hips, the hip flexors, can adaptively shorten, which many physiologists believe that this has a negative impact on the buttocks muscles, which in many cases deactivates the buttocks muscles, which are on the opposite side. This is called reciprocal inhibition. They just shut off. We can't get them going. So obviously, this is not a good thing. Given this fact, I've included stretches and self-massage techniques to avert this phenomenon. Enough said about the physiology behind the program. Let's get started. The Getting to the Bottom of It program has two levels: a beginner or home program, which you can do at home and requires very little equipment. All you will need is some resistance bands, which I will tell you where to get them later in the video. The other level is an advanced level, which involves training at a gym. So without any further ado, let's get started.